Batman the Animated Series is rightfully lauded as the apex of all Batman depictions beyond the comics. The show, which ran from 1993 to 1995, plus the sort of same show, sort of spin-off New Batman Adventures in 1997, received universal acclaim for its thematic complexity, artistic quality, film noir aesthetics, music, and cast, and its enduring popularity over the years have ensured its legendary status as the greatest comic book show of all time. This, in turn, has resulted in fans unraveling and enjoying every moment, every frame, every second of the on-screen material that is available to them. However, there's a lot more to the Batman Animated Series universe than most fans have ever realised, for there exists a run of comics set within the same continuity that began running in 1992 and contain a wealth of information that both adds to and expands upon the animated Batman universe. In fact, many of the stories we adore from the show first began to take shape within these musty pages, but not every tale made it onto the screen. Armed with this expanded knowledge of the show's canon, let's examine together the lingering mysteries and explore the very best of the never-shown stories of Batman the Animated Series. I'm Will for What Culture, and this is 5 incredible Batman the Animated Series episodes we never got to see. Number 5. The time the Riddler defeated Batman. The great thing about the Batman Adventures run is that it perfectly captures the feel and tone of the show. It also goes further in examining the limits and potential of the animated universe's characters in stories that never made it onto the screen, like the story of the Riddler's depression and how he came to ultimately defeat the Batman. In Batman Adventures Volume 10, The Last Riddler Story, Riddler is freshly released from Arkham as another trio of supervillains, Mastermind, the Professor, and Mr. Nice, attempt to heist rare jewels moving through Gotham. Meanwhile, the Riddler has sunk into something of a depression, saying that he feels himself a failure and won't challenge Batman ever again. After some cheerful encouragement from perhaps the friendliest goons in the history of comics, the Riddler agrees to try one last time to outwit the Bat, but after this, he will riddle no more. He offers Gotham this riddle: what's got wings that do not fly, arms that have no hands, and eyes that cannot see? However, Batman is so distracted with the Professor and the other villains that the Riddler manages to succeed in his goal and steals the jewels for himself. By pure good fortune, however, Batman is at the location at the time and manages to stop the Riddler escaping. But when the Riddler asks how Batman figured it all out, Batman merely responds, "I didn't." Riddler then takes this as a victory, as Batman technically never solved his riddle. He then gleefully returns to Arkham, joyously singing his way through his trial and sentence in the wonderful knowledge that he finally defeated the Batman. Number 4. Killer Croc's Redemption. In Batman Adventures Volume 1, Issue 7, Raging Lizard, Killer Croc tries to turn over a new leaf. He actually finds semi-legal employment in Gotham's underground fighting rings, building up a fearsome reputation and scores of fans. Batman later encounters Croc while searching for a new mobster, Mandrake, a Chicago crime boss looking to expand into Gotham. In a rare turn of events, Batman is actually defeated in one-on-one combat by the Marauder, who is working as an enforcer for mobster Mandrake. Croc, however, then manages to take the Marauder by surprise and take him out himself. Batman takes Mandrake and Marauder into custody, promising to leave Croc alone so long as Croc does not return to genuine crime, leaving Croc as a redeemed and beloved wrestler rather than the bestial monster of the main Batman continuity. Number 3. Batman's Criminal Turn. One of the greatest virtues of the animated series canon comics is that they also examine the limits and potential of Batman himself, fleshing him out into a real character with aspirations, faults, and weaknesses, as well as finding out exactly what makes Bruce Wayne Batman. All of this is explored in Batman Adventures Volumes 35 and 36, which pick up after Batman has had a large portion of his memory erased by Hugo Strange. Catwoman recognizes this and manipulates Batman into assisting her in crimes. Despite having no memory of her or anything at all since the age of 6, Batman's natural virtue shines through, however, and he assures his partner that he'll help despite suffering immense guilt for the robbery they commit together. Catwoman even remarks that despite having lost his entire memory, there's just no winning against Batman's moral compass. After Catwoman is cornered by Robin, amnesiac Batman swings in and he and the Boy Wonder square off. Batman is kicking Robin's peachy ass until he manages to calm down Bruce just enough to convince him to come back to Wayne Manor, which Bruce actually remembers. Eventually, he manages to regain his memories that were stored in the diamond he and Catwoman stole while he was on the wrong side of the law. And after having an incredibly painful session having to recall all of his life, including the death of his parents, Batman is truly back. The really great thing about this story is it highlights that Batman is inherently on the right side of good. Despite having no memories of her, Bruce was willing to help Catwoman just because she said they were friends, even though he had no memory of her. And even with no moral compass or experience to draw from, he still came round to the fact that he'd rather be a hero than a thief. It's a testament to what makes Batman Batman, the underlying innate truth that he is on the side of justice above all else. Number 2. How Dick Grayson became Nightwing. Perhaps the greatest unexplained mystery of the animated series universe is how Dick Grayson became Nightwing. To the casual viewer, it would appear that he slapped on a new pair of tights and started kicking ass again mere moments after his fist-flavoured retirement hand-delivered to Batman's face. I mean, it certainly looked that way. One moment you've got Dick Grayson's Robin, and then one episode later, we find Tim Drake in his place and Nightwing operating in Bloodhaven. However, the comics fill in this gap in continuity and the incredible 2.5 years that the show decided to skip between those episodes. During this time, Grayson left Gotham and went to Brazil, where he studied capoeira and Tai Chi under Master Ling Chao. He then travelled to Santo della Rosa to find the Invisibles, from whom he learned stealth skills far above anything Batman has taught him, enough to rival Batman himself, as well as foiling Two-Face in his attempt to smuggle drugs from Santo della Rosa to Gotham. It is also here that he crafts his first costume in the jungle, adapting a Day of the Dead style costume he'd been using to fit in with the festivities happening at the time. He then trains his senses through Yao and Tenya, fighting blind Arya Stark style, and learns the secret of flight from the flying monks in the Himalayas. All of this takes him 2 years, during which time Batman was training Tim Drake as the next Robin. Jump back in at the new Batman Adventures episode 1 and you're all caught up on the 2 years worth of stories you never knew. Number 1. Harley's Final Tale. Harley Quinn is easily among Batman the Animated Series' greatest triumphs. First appearing in the excellent episode Joker's Favour, she's gone on to be a mainstay of the Batman's main continuity, and a fan favourite that rivals even Joker himself. However, the final time we see Harley Quinn in the Batman the Animated Series continuity is actually quite tragic. After the Joker develops a new potent Joker venom, he hurls a vial of the stuff at Batman, gleefully expecting him to turn into a violent psychopath. However, at the last moment, Joker realizes that a violent psychopath Batman will inevitably murder him, and desperately shouts at Harley to catch the vial. She succeeds in preventing Batman's exposure to the venom, but is exposed to it herself, which shatters her already fragile mind. The last we see of Harley is in a totally comatose state, dreaming of the Joker and her getting married. One of the doctors in charge of her case suggests that they give her some lithium to stop the delusions, to which the other doctor sadly responds that it would do no good. At the end of it all, she's the one who pays the price. Just another victim of the Joker's cruelty and madness. And there you have it, folks, 5 incredible Batman the Animated Series stories you never got to see. Definitely leave a comment with your own thoughts down below and let me know what your favourite episode of Batman the Animated Series is. For me personally, it's probably Almost Got Him, although Heart of Ice is a very close second. Also, don't forget to drop a like, share this video, and subscribe to What Culture Comics for more juicy, delicious comic book awesomeness. I'm Will for What Culture, and I'll see you next time.